Shit. God damn. Not COVID. Timeless. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We definitely not gonna take a lot of time today, unless there are questions that are gonna be asked. So we'll give it a couple minutes, let a couple other motherfuckers get in real quick. But like the market started off good and going down now. Some of these stocks still look good though. A lot of opportunities. Like everything is going down a little bit right now, but you know how it goes. Valleys and peaks. If you haven't already, make sure you tap into Twerk's new album, Jerusalem. Shout out to Twerk. Also, make sure y'all tap into Av's new album, Validated 2. Ling would kill me if I didn't shout out Av's project. So shout out to Av. Shout out to my niggas. Shout out to everybody who took part in Volume 7 yesterday, the other day, too. Shout out to my brother Jay, man. Proud of him, man. Shout out to everybody. Except the niggas I don't fuck with. Fuck y'all. So, as normal, you know, if you want to contribute, uh, feel free to tap into the nonprofit, bbtcfoundation.com. I don't want no money from y'all. Um, I'm doing fine off the stock market. So, you know, just make sure y'all spread the word, man. Each one teach one, you heard? So, let's get into it, man. It's enough people to get into it. If you guys got questions as I'm going through this, make sure that you guys ask them. I'm gonna try to keep this relatively short because I got some shit to do. So, man, I appreciate it, bro. That's love. So, there was a couple questions I got asked before um I posted this. Um, you know, I wanted to make sure that I answered those first before I got into my shit. The first question that was asked was about a merger between. Let me just make sure I give you guys the exact name because this is something important to know about because it could actually possibly apply to anybody who wants to invest into this. A company called Churchill Capital and Lucid. Um, for those who don't know, Churchill Capital is just to make sure we properly address them. They're a blank check firm, basically investors. They are. There are rumors that this company is investing into a new car company called Lucid. Um, I had a question asked about what is the probability of that merger and what that could mean for the market. To answer that question, because I don't know the person who actually asked me that question, so I just want to make sure the question is answered. That is so at this point a rumor. There has been no confirmation from either company that that merger is actually happening. So if you've actually seen the stock for Churchill Capital Corp, which the acronym for that is CCIV, I would just say you would probably notice over the last couple of weeks that that stock is more than doubled. Really, over the last month, it's more than doubled. So the reason why, get in there, you get to your mama. All right, so the reason why I say that is it's a rumor. Like it's not anything written in stone. Neither company is confirmed, and that stock is double solely based off of a rumor. So if for whatever reason that stock does not actually do the merger, that stock is going to go back down. It's gonna lose the value that it's gained over the last 2 weeks. Now, the other company that is merging with Lucid is not a public company yet, but once it does become a public company, my recommendation is to buy that stock immediately because that is a really quality company, and it's going to go public within the next couple months. So just keep an eye out for Lucid. It's going to be a good stock once it does become public. Um, the other question I had was based on a company called Global Star. Um, there's Global Star, which the acronym for that is GSTAT. Um, He asked me what my thoughts were about that stock in general. Uh, for those who don't know, this is basically a satellite company that's been investing into 5G stuff. Over the last maybe like 2 months, that stock has more than tripled. It started off at like a quarter of stock, and it's at like over $1 now. So it's actually almost quadrupled. It was more than 25 cents, but it's more than tripled within the last month or so. Unfortunately, if you are reading this, it might be a bit too late. Uh, you probably already missed out on the opportunity. Now, not to say that it can't have more potential to grow, but the main growth that I'm sure you were asking about, you missed it, brother. So, that's what it is. Snooze, you lose. So those were the questions that I had. I just wanted to make sure I knocked those out before I got into the shit I was going to talk about. The first thing I wanted to talk to y'all about is GameStop. Um, for a lot of the people, I'm sure you guys have, unless you're sleeping under a rock, you've seen that this stock has went crazy over the last couple weeks. This stock was on the verge of going bankrupt. Once this pandemic hit, I think it was down as low as like $2 or $3. If you've actually used Robinhood, you might have got the stock for free. It was one of those stocks that you get for free if you refer motherfuckers and shit. Um, the reason why I say while I'm talking about that stock is even though it was at $5 when it first popped off, it's currently at like 80 something, yo. Like the stock has went absolutely nuts. Now one of the reasons why this stock has went absolutely nuts is based off of Reddit. The Reddit community has made a really big point to get behind this stock. Now, for the investors, like just based on the news I've been watching, because this has been a topic of discussion on pretty much all the investment channels over the last week or two. They look at it all as a short sale opportunity. Like if you have that stock still right now, you might just want to sell it. I just can't see how much earning potential is left in it, being that it went from $5 to $80. GameStop can only do so much. So to think that a stock like this could possibly get up to $200, $150, I just can't see it. Really, investors don't know why it's at where it's at now, besides the fact that a community of people decided, let's all get behind it so we can build it up and sell it. And this isn't something that's new. It happens in the stock market all the time where a community of people decide, let's just get behind this shit. Dogecoin for crypto is a perfect example of that, where people are starting to get behind that as well. So, if you have that stock now, I would definitely recommend selling it. You should have already 20 times returned on your investment or 10 times. You should have already did very well for that stock if you have it at this point. So that's something that I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of, because I know a lot of times people see a stock booming, then it's like, oh shit, it's booming. Let me let me get behind it now. And that's really what the problem is for you investors that don't know what the fuck y'all doing. Y'all just following trends. That is a big reason why a company like Bitcoin is at the $31,000 point that it's at right now. 31,000 is some change, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all seen it at 40 grand and then y'all decided to get behind it, which that's not a bad thing because it could still, potentially do well. But the problem is when you guys invest in some shit and have no knowledge of it and have no knowledge of the market and how this shit works, as soon as this shit goes down to 30,000, 34,000, the y'all niggas is quick to sell y'all shit. And that's why the stock market drops. Like I need to make sure it's important that y'all understand why stock markets drop, because people sell. And if you don't sell, the stock market will never drop to begin with. So you kind of got to look in the mirror. If you bought a stock and it dropped and you sold it the next day, you're the reason why the shit dropped. There's a million other people who thought just like you and decided, oh shit is dropping, let me get out of here. For those type of people, please get out of the fucking stock market, because y'all fucking up the money for everybody else. Like just get out. Like there's other things to invest into if you want to make a return on investment that doesn't include stocks, if you have no knowledge or if you just don't got the nuts to stick around. Like if you ain't got it to stick around, like this ain't for you. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a million other things that I invest into that don't have the same dangers in stocks. I would just advise you to kind of think about doing the same thing. But for those people who see a stock drop to, I'm seeing people post, "Oh man, see, I knew not to get into crypto, bro." You don't know what the fuck you talking about. Like I'm just telling you, you don't know what you're talking about. So just make sure y'all stick to what y'all know. And if you're not willing to learn, it don't got to be through me. You know what I'm saying? You see, the name of this podcast is What Do I Know Podcast. I just know the research that I look up and, that I do my research on. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to try to to learn about this shit, first and foremost, one of the biggest rules of stocks, you don't lose money until you sell the stock. So if you bought it at 40 and it goes down to 31, that don't mean you lost money because you didn't sell the stock. That's important to know. You don't lose money until you sell the stock. So but once again, in terms of GameStop, sell that. If you're in Bitcoin, stick around, man. This isn't going anywhere. Like, it's becoming a part of our life. I speak about this shit all the time. Don't be so quick to sell. Um, the next stock I wanted to talk to y'all about is Airbnb. We talked about this when it first, we talked about this when we first. What's up with? Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. We spoke about Airbnb when it first became public. Uh, when we talked about it, we had talked about the fact that it was way overpriced at that time. Uh, the stock market was the ones, like Wall Street was the ones who deemed it being that expensive. It was supposed to actually only be like a $30 or $40 stock to start off. At this point in time, it's in the 180s. But one thing I'm learning is that stock is pretty much going to be stuck in that range right now. So even though it's doing really, really good today, so I don't know if today may be the best day to invest into it, just being that it is doing so well today. I will recommend that it is time to look into Airbnb as a stock to get into, because it's just not getting any lower than 140, 150. It's just not happening. Once again, today it's doing very well, and it's sometimes always a weird situation when you're buying stocks when it's going up, because the shit goes up, it goes down, it's valleys and peaks. So you ideally want to catch these stocks when they're going down. But Airbnb is here to stay. I mean, that's obvious. Obviously, once the COVID shit clears up, uh, Airbnb is going to be booming like a motherfucker all over again. But they project the shit to get upwards to 250, 300, by the end of the year. So yeah, I know it was at 150 yesterday and it dropped $70. That's my whole point. Like, that's really my whole point about GameStop. It's a short sale. Like, if you understand the importance of short selling for the day traders, then you understand to know when the fuck to get out. Now, the people who got out at 150, they came up, and the people who stuck around, they sick. So you just got to understand why a stock is what it is and why it's doing what it's doing. But the stock ain't going to stay at 80 something forever. It's going to eventually go back down to 20, $30. And for the people who got it at 3, $4, that's still a kill. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, just keep that in mind. So yeah, Airbnb, look it up. Do your research. You know, I don't know if today is the best day specifically to get it, but the price is set and it's not going to go below 140 pretty much ever again. It's just not happening. So look into it. Tomorrow there's going to be quarterly reports in terms of the earnings for Apple, Tesla, and Microsoft. Expect all three of those stocks to potentially go up because all three of them made a profit in the last quarter. And anytime investors see that a company is earning a profit in this day and age, then they're going to invest more into it. So I would keep an eye out. Excuse me, for those three stocks, because they're going to be doing their earnings reports tomorrow. Um, One other thing, um, this don't have anything to do with stocks. I know a lot of people bitching that Joe Biden hasn't provided you guys the full 2,000 already. Um, I just want to make sure you guys have an understanding. Don't expect to get that 2,000 this month or next month. Realistically, it won't be available until about March. Um, it's just too many other things that needs to happen before they really get into this 1.9 trillion-dollar bill. For some people like me, I ain't even got the 600 yet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even get that shit yet. I know a lot of people haven't gotten that 600 yet. One of the reasons why it probably won't be until March is because the unemployment ends around March and the moratorium ends around March. And for the most part, those things are a bit more important than just cutting people checks. according to the government. I ain't in people's pockets, but I'm just saying according to the government. So they're not going to really get too behind putting that much money up at this point in time, just because there's other things to handle. They're really getting behind this whole Trump impeachment shit. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm just telling you guys, don't expect to see that money until like March. Chuck Schumer, the head of the Senate now, he actually just said yesterday they look to get that money available within the next month, month and a half, which if you're going to talk politics, let's just say 2 months. So if he's saying it, he's the person who's going to be approving that final bill at the end of the day now, since Mitch McConnell is no longer the majority leader in the Senate. I'm just telling y'all now, stop posting, yo, what's up with that two grand? You ain't getting it right now. And go do some other shit to get money anyway. Stop waiting for the government to cut y'all niggas checks. So I see you, is that Hanzi? If I mispronounce your name, I apologize. The Calathera Biosciences, I mean, it's still up. I mean, if you got it when I said to get it, then, it's still up. Um, at the end of the day, if you look at the research on it, it's a great opportunity to get into now. It's a very cheap stock. You don't have to invest a lot of money into it. It's even at this point still 317. I personally bought the stock at I personally bought the stock at like 286. So if you get a ton of stocks, like I got like 500 stocks in it, if it goes up a quarter, that's a kill for a day. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely look into it. I'm not going to tell you to put a ton of money behind it, but I would advise to look into it. So, uh, you know, just leave it at that. So, yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, man. Tomorrow we'll probably get more into the Tesla, Microsoft, and the Tesla stocks. Oh yeah, AMC. Forgot to talk about that. Last thing, and then we'll get up out of here. So AMC, the stock was almost bankrupt around this time last year. Um, a lot of people are wondering what's up with that stock. Should they invest into it? Um, they actually received over $900 million in funding to kind of keep themselves afloat. So you know, it looks like it's going to be out of the course of bankruptcy. So I mean, the stock is only like $4, $5. So if you want to invest a couple bucks and maybe getting 10, 15, 20 stocks, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to. It still is in hot water, especially when you got things like HBO Max that's actually releasing movies on their app. Whenever something like that happens, it's kind of hard to bet against it, man, because people still want to be at the crib. People would rather, if you can watch a brand new movie, at the spot over in a theater, it's just going to really hurt the competition for theaters. So I'm not putting no money into it. I mean, but you can look into it because it doesn't look like it's going to go bankrupt. And once again, just to reiterate, I would look into getting into AT&T. Simply just because AT&T owns Warner Media, and Warner Media owns HBO and Cinemax, so they own HBO Max. And I don't know if you guys seen, but HBO Max they got a nice little lineup of movies that's gonna be dropping this year. I seen Space Jam with Brian. Denzel got a movie coming out this week. You know what I'm saying? Denzel gonna always show up and show out. I know the Matrix. They doing another Matrix, and all these type of movies are going to be, available on HBO Max. And I think the stock didn't really shoot up that high after Wonder Woman because that movie fucking sucked. So I know people weren't really excited about it, even though it did still hit number one. I just know that with Space Jam and some of these other big time movies, I mean, the Matrix, bringing the Matrix back is crazy in itself. Having something like that available is definitely going to bring AT&T up since they own all that shit. So look into that. That's pretty much it, though. I'll give you guys like 30 seconds if you have any questions, and we're going to get the fuck up out of here. Once again, make sure y'all tap in with, you know, Jerusalem from Twerk and Validated Volume 2 from Av. Um, I do want to start promoting merch on here too, man, because I feel like battle rap, man. I'm so proud of how battle rap has been doing in terms of creating quality merch. When I was selling shirts, really the only other person besides me was Hollow at that time, and obviously he's still doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? But I just think it's super, super dope that these guys are investing into themselves and uh, you know giving themselves opportunity to make money outside of battle rap because this shit ain't gonna last forever. So I do want to shout out Riggs. I just got a hoodie on the way from him. Shout out to Bobby Lee to shut the fuck up and sell crack hoodies. Them shits is dope. And also tap in with my young boy, real name Brent. I guess I shouldn't call him my young boy. That nigga's a grown ass man. And also just keep an eye out for real name Brandon in general. He is one of the next up to come out of the West. Just you heard it here first. Been working with him for a long time. He's been doing this thing. He just had a dope battle with Chef Trez on the Riot. Got over 100,000. Make sure y'all tap in with him as well. Uh, International. Let me quick second. I've been smoking all day, so I don't just have the acronyms on the top of my head. Give me a quick second. I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing the stock you're referring to. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that stock. It looks like it's doing pretty good today. Hit me up tomorrow. Oh, Intel. Is that Intel? That don't look like the Intel stock. But Intel, I've already said about Intel. It's a good stock to get into. They own the microchips. Look at some of my last two or three Fetti talks. I've talked about Intel. I don't know. I didn't doesn't look like that's the right acronym for it. But Intel, yeah, I got money in Intel. I would definitely look into it. So yeah, as always, make sure y'all subscribe to the page, share. Spread the word. Let's build this community up, y'all. Like, let's not just keep this exclusive. The only way it's gonna build up is through y'all. I know I don't be talking about intriguing battle rap shit like this corny shit that a lot of niggas like to talk about, man. I'm really just talking about positive shit, and I know battle rap niggas don't really like that, Um, I'm sure if I was in here talking shit about my brother Nitty or Gotti or something, you guys would be going through the fucking roof. But shares, spread the word. Let's get the word out, man, because this is money that can change your life. I mean, I can say over the last years definitely changed mine. So once again, subscribe to the page, man. I'm out of here.